Bangla channel, আমরা নিরপেক্ষ নই।
Hello, welcome to Bangladesh Weekly Roundup. I'm your host Saquib. Today is 3rd April 2023. We were supposed to do the weekly yesterday, last night, but we are doing it 24 hours later due to certain unavoidable circumstances. The week that we have just passed, this week started, according to the newspapers, according to the news reports, with the death of Miss Jasmine Sultana in RAB custody. And today I saw that autopsy report has come which says that she died from a stroke for which they didn't find any physical evidence. So you can see that they are already trying to cover it up. I do not want to go much into Jasmine Sultana because I have the larger questions have, I think, taken over during this week, and which was the arrest of Mr. Shamsuzzaman, who is a reporter of Prothom Alo, the premier vernacular daily of Bangladesh. He was picked up under Digital Security Act. Under this act, the editor of the premier daily was also charged, and for 30 hours, the journalist, the reporter was picked up, and after about more than 30 hours, he was produced in the court. So we do not know what happened in 30 hours. The journalist, the reporter, had purportedly, actually they have agreed, that the reporter had published a report where it was said that Zakir, a person, had said that if we do not have the ability to buy rice, what is the use of this independence? And the reporter had said that this person had said it, but again in that report, he had a small boy's, 10-year-old boy's picture, and that boy was also paid about 10 taka, about 10 cents, I guess, to give that picture. So that giving money to that small boy and then putting this news out, the government side is saying that it gave the impression that the small boy was saying it. Now, when the paper was informed about it, the paper changed its photographs. I think they took it out after 17 minutes. But if you see that it is just the perception of a person who doesn't like this paper, if you read through it, the boy's name has not been used as the person who said these things. And then Bangladesh Foreign Ministry had says that this is a case of child exploitation, giving that boy 10 taka and so that the boy's picture is taken. If you are going to talk about child exploitation, 40% of babies in Dhaka city might have respiratory problems according to certain news reports. If you're talking about exploitation of children, how much brainwashing process, what a third-rate education system this government has continued for last 14 years and destroyed the thinking ability of the children of this country. That's not child exploitation, that's not children oppression. In this country, girls get married at the age of 16, 15, because if you are a pretty girl and if your father is not rich or middle class, then the parents feel so scared because of the goons of the ruling party. All the goons are ruling party goons all the time. And so they get them married because of insecurity. That's not children oppression. So, this is propaganda that was done from the government side. There was a tremendous outpouring of protests from international organizations, from United Nations, from the United States, from the Western countries, and all the international media had, or major ones covered it. So today, the reporter, Mr. Shamsuzzaman, has just been granted bail, even though 2 days back when he was sent, it was said that he was being sent for 30 days or 35 days. So it seems that the government has relented. They have also given 6 weeks bail, advance bail to the editor. So both of them are now on bail. But the point is that this Digital Security Act is such a black law. It's such a black law. It is not a law. It does not have the minimum safeguards for the people or for the one who will be accused. If you do not have the minimum safeguards for the accused, then under common law, I think it is not a law. It is an oppression diktat of the government which is immoral. However, the government has been forced to do this, I think. Otherwise, the government wouldn't do it. I don't know who forced them. Mr. Matiur Rahman, the editor of the paper, might know better. However, I would like to take this opportunity to say that, see, the totalitarian governments, the governments which want to oppress people, which want to take over the country, never let it go. This kind of governments first take hold of the army and the police, then the judiciary. Once they have these three, they go after the mass media. Once they have the mass media, then we will all become disconnected. once they can they can control the flow of information, once they can say everything is hunky-dory, then the occupation is complete. At that time, they can do their real job, which is robbing the country through the banks, through robbing the banks, robbing the share market, robbing the government exchequer by development projects or projects which is highly inflated, which goes year after year, because all the money that you give them, that money goes out the drain of the corruption, and then the next year they need a supplemental financing. So this is the situation where we have to protect, or we have to protect Pratham Alo, or any newspaper. Or the reporters, there are, according to Ain o Shalish Kendra, Ask ASK, 56, I think, journalists were had cases under DSL in last 2 months or so. This has to change immediately. And I hope that on this, there should be total unity for the opposition on this. During last week, certain things came to my attention from the side of United States, and I wanted to say a few words on that. On, I think, 24th of March, I think, there was a Bloomberg news report written by Mr. Kugelman, who is an expert. And I see his name in Washington, D.C.'s Bangladesh Affairs meetings and seminars. He wrote that in 2024, Sheikh Hasina is going to be re-elected, or expected to be re-elected, because she has all her opposition in legal snares and legal cases. I'm paraphrasing. If Sheikh Hasina can pull it off, rig the election again, and then I think, all that has been said in the last 2 years by the United States administration will prove to be rather unserious, I would say. Unserious. Then in our 53rd anniversary, during our anniversary in the embassy in Washington, D.C., Ambassador Julieta Noyes, Assistant Secretary of State Department, if I'm not mistaken, she went to the embassy and she had lauded the progress of Bangladesh under Sheikh Hasina. I was reading a news report according to, like that. IMF lauds the progress of Bangladesh. What is the progress of Bangladesh? I think once you are saying, in one side, you are saying that Bangladesh has made progress under Sheikh Hasina. In another side, you are saying that Bangladesh is that Bangladesh government concentrates all the power under Sheikh Hasina, and under Sheikh Hasina, all these human rights abuses have taken place. How these two can be connected? How can these two be balanced? How can these two be accepted? Is it the fact of the matter is, I think this is because of the compartmentalization and expertise. Everybody has their own compartments and they're looking at only their compartments. It is this reason that people do not trust experts anymore. They are not human beings anymore. They don't understand the dehumanization anymore. They don't understand the dignity of human beings anymore. The experts, I mean. In general, I'm saying that. So the economic expert is saying, oh, this economics is doing great. Doesn't want to talk about the human rights problems. But this economic system requires human rights violations. This economic system requires human rights violations. Why don't we say that? Why don't we accept that? I think in this country, the fact of the matter is, our people, migrant workers, go abroad, do menial jobs, send $20+ billion a year. We have got our garments worker, sisters and brothers. They again probably bring in another $10 billion net, I hope, I think. So this $30 billion is coming every year. It is this $30 billion multiplier effect. This is our, and I'm not bringing in our domestic economies, I'm talking about dollar economy. And that is what, with that money we bring in we buy our imports. It is this inflow and outflow. We used to have surplus. But every year, government corruption results in leaks of billions of dollars of outflow of dollars from this country. So what is happening is that the development that is happening in Bangladesh is happening not because of the government, but in spite of the government. United States is a status quo power. And United States is the sole superpower. So in every country, they have to deal with whoever is in power. There is a tendency to mix with the faux capitalist type of these countries, that United States usually did not have good partners in any third world countries. Look at Afghanistan, look at Iraq. The way when all those people who were helping Americans to invade Iraq, and what kind of people they were. So I hope that United States will maintain its diplomacy, will not talk from both sides of the mouth, and will make it clear that this total robbing of political rights of a politically conscious people cowed by corrupt bureaucracy and cannot be allowed to suffer another 5 years. I hope United States will, there are great, brilliant people there, and I hope they will strengthen what the ambassador in Dhaka has been saying. And they must understand that autocratic leader is not swayed by words. So with that, I hope more progress will be seen. Our life is in terrible state. If you walk on the street, I'm sure that you will be hard put to find a person who had a full meal, who had a meal to the heart's content recently. It is in this state we are. With this, we conclude today. Hope to see you again next week. Thank you.